Hey, what's up? I figured while I'm going into a couple of these vocal things, I'd just create a video, because hearing is the quickest way to figure this stuff out anyways. So let me play just the vocals.
Yeah. Came from another land. Call me Nishikori. They be saying I'm the man. Call me Nishikori. I already got a plan. Call me Nishikori.
And let's dive in, right? What you just heard was I have these two main
Came
tracks,
from another land. Call me Nishikori. They be saying I'm the man. Call me Nishikori.
which I can call, with air quotes, one vocal, right? They swap in and out, but it's just one playing at a time. And then I have these two that back up, and they're panned pretty hard left and pretty hard right.
Call me Nishikori. They be saying I'm the man. Call me Nishikori. Call me Nishikori. Call me Nishikori.
Right? Pretty low in the mix, as you see. But you asked, do I ever add some high end to the vocals? And while I didn't do it in my main vocals, the ones that are playing during verses,
Always tired of cool cats, it's all fakery. Run up on your net and then the rally like you can't believe.
I did add a lot of high end to the side. So these two side ones, this is what their EQ looks like.
Call me Nishikori. They be saying I'm the man. Call me Nishikori.
So why did I do this? I saw online that when you're mixing stuff, the higher frequency components are usually panned out to the side, while lower frequency components are in the middle. Might be worth experimenting with, but that's just what I got out of it. So I figured if I'm panning things to the side, that's when I'm going to add higher frequencies. I actually used to boost high frequencies in my main vocal in main parts like this. I'll show you what that sounds like.
Always tired of cool cats, it's all fakery. Run up on your net and then the rally like you can't believe. Volley overhead smash. Don't you lie me. Try to hit a tweener, but you know you can't.
So as you can see, there's a bit more shine, a bit more brightness to it. But at the same time, I noticed I was just kind of doing it so I could hear, excuse me, hear my voice more in the mix, when what I should have actually been doing is just boosting the volume. So I kind of threw that habit out. For me, boosting the highs on my vocals are more for side components than just to make my vocal more known in the mix. So that's sort of how I go about it. My second question was, do for these fast and slow compressors, which, as you can see, I did this shit very haphazardly. I literally cloned one. I'll rename them so it's a little more easy to tell what the hell I'm doing, right? Um, for my fast and slow compressors, am I just talking about a fast attack and a slow attack, or am I playing with release as well? And also, am I messing with compression ratios? So here was my main thinking process behind this. When it comes to compression, I compress using a visual plugin like Fruity Limiter and its compression tool, um, because I'm not super good at using compression just yet. Um, but when it came to the fast and slow ones, I literally sometimes I just look at the meter. For the fast ones, I knew I wanted it fast because if I turned all the effects off,
Yeah. Came from another land. Call me Nishikori.
I'll go into a verse for this one.
Had a couple close calls at the line though.
There we go. Okay, this will give you a really good idea.
Now you're 0 to 5, you and I do or die. This just ain't new to me. Bagel after bagel, like I'll clean out your bakery. Oh,
so as you can see, there's plosives going off, and there's a lot of jumps from 16 to 12 to 10 decibels, and that's not gonna fly with me. So instead, I'll just show you the first thing I threw on it.
Now you're 0 to 5, you and I do or die. This just ain't new to me. Bagel after bagel, like I'll clean out your bakery. Always tired of cool cats, it's all fakery. Run up on your net and then the rally like you can't believe.
So volley
overhead smash. Don't you lie me. Try to hit a
now you're this compression because it's super fast.
Now you're 0 to 5, you and I do or die. This just ain't new to me.
Of this thing. Now, how do I find this out, right? How do I figure out where the threshold should go and how much the ratio should be and all of this stuff? I'll say breathe, take a big step back from it, and when in doubt, I over apply it. I don't keep it that way because then it might sound kind of shitty. But when I don't know what a plugin is doing, I over apply it. What I mean by that is I'll pull the threshold way down,
Now you're 0 to 5, you
so
would
it's
not do or
super
die. This
squashed,
just ain't new to
right?
me.
Then I turn the volume up,
Now you're 0 to 5, you would not do or die.
and now you can hear exactly what this compressor is doing because this shit's slamming the vocal. And so now you know what something more subtle like attack time.
Now you're 0 to 5, you would not do or die. This just ain't new to me. Bagel after bagel, like I'll clean out your bakery. Always tired of cool cats, it's all fakery. Run up.
Does. You can see when I go and say something like
Now you're 0 to 5, you.
0 to 5, right? The f part.
Now you're 0 to 5, you would.
It.
Now you're 0.
I was trying to get it to stay here. This was 5. This was 5. On a slow attack, that f gets crushed, and on the longer attack rather, it gets a little bit of air to breathe, and that's how I sort of picked out an attack time that worked for me, and I just did it by ear. I guesstimated, figured it out, and then I set the threshold to something a little more reasonable. When it comes to release, you can do the exact same process. Squash it, put the gain up so you can hear it a bit, and then start playing. If it would let me.
It's all fakery.
There we go.
It's all fakery. Run up on your net and then the rally like you can't believe. It's all fakery. Run up on your net and then the rally like you can't believe. Volley overhead smash. Don't you lie me.
So release for me is usually just how much is the compressor turning on and off. Big release meaning that it's going to stay on for the whole thing. Slow release meaning that it's just going to, as soon as it gets low enough, it's going to stop compressing and go for it.
It's all fakery. Run up on your net and then the rally like. It's all fakery. Run up on your net and then the rally like.
For me, I like slow attacks most of the time because like when it's nice and slow like this, it'll sound more
Run up on your net and then the rally like you can't.
More consistent.
It's all fakery. Run up on
But
your
you
net
can
and then the
try to
rally
get it
like
a
you
bit
can't
lower
believe.
to get some more punch out of I guess trailing sounds in your vocal. The ends of words, the ends of syllables. Next question, right? I'm gonna try and return this back to normal, or at least some semblance of normal. Also with the slow attack, right? I just used it, or slow compressor. I just used it to sort of smooth things out at the end of the whole chain. So
it's all fakery. Run up on your net and then the rally like you can't believe. Volley overhead smash. Don't you lie me. Try to hit a tweener, but you know you can't stop me. The referee gonna be rooting.
Versus
it's all fakery. Run up on your net and then the rally like you can't believe. Volley overhead smash. Don't you lie me.
I probably fucked it up. I'm not gonna lie. But even if it was a bit louder, it kind of barely comes on, and I just use it to sort of ease out some of the larger bits that, say I'm switching from this take to this take and one of them's a bit louder. The slow attack is just gonna sort of smooth things out. For maybe there's a better solution, just changing the volume a bit. But that's sort of how I did it. I just found that there were certain parts like in the middle of vocals where things would, start increasing a bit more and it would sound just a little out of place. And I wanted to just get a bit more out of my vocal without it spiking at random times. So I threw the slow compressor on there. Hopefully that helps. Next question, right? Are the reverb sends that I mentioned from DJ Cutman, where you have a short one and a long one, and don't freak out about these, it's just a subtractive EQ because I read online that lows and highs are not important for reverb, and a distortion which really helps you hear reverb instead of just feeling it. I don't put this on every time, like every track that I put reverb on, and as you can see, it's only halfway here. but for me, it just helps me hear things when I want to hear them more. It brings out some edge in the reverb. So let me turn off the delay.
The scene too fast to be seen on your TV screen. The fans scream, they can't contain their.
As you can see, it's hitting super low.
The scene too fast to be.
Like negative 44. Now, how do I balance a short and a long reverb? And what's the difference between them, right? The main differences, in my opinion, are the room size, the decay time, and then, of course, how much of the reverb is here. Note that it's a send, so dry should be at 0 for both of these, and reverb percentage is how I balance them. Now, there's actually a mistake in here. Diffusion should be at 100 for me, at least, because otherwise it sounds a bit weird. But how do I know things like that? Is because, as I said before, I slam an effect to the point where it's unbearable.
The scene too fast to be seen on your TV screen. The fans scream, they can't contain their excitement.
And you hear that sort of like weird reflection. That's because I had this diffusion set.
The scene too fast to be seen on your TV screen. The fans scream, they can't contain their excitement. Whole world.
And you can really tell if I just solo
The
it.
scene too fast to be seen on your TV screen. The fans scream. The scene too fast to be seen on your TV screen.
There you go, right? So balancing short and long reverbs, there we go ish. I slam it, just as I mentioned there. There's a ton of reverb, and then you just play with it. That's the God honest truth is.
The scene too fast to be seen on your TV screen. The fans scream, they can't contain their excitement. Whole world watching and they. The scene too fast to be seen on your TV screen. The fans scream.
This is just a short one. That's actually what I figured out first. Is I want
the scene too fast to be seen.
Sort of your normal rap reverb. You're in a room. You're in the stew, bro. You get a little bit of room tone in there. And I figured, okay, what should the room sound like? It should probably be a little small, like a little on the smaller side. Maybe some brightness. It's like a poppy rap vocal. Real shit, I don't really know what these sound like.
The scene too fast to be seen on your TV screen. The fans scream.
I've never really noticed what the difference is. Maybe you do. But yeah, they're all on one aux track, and for me, I knew I wanted a lot of short and just a little, just feeling, not hearing, the long one. So
the scene too fast to be seen on your TV screen. The fans scream, they can't contain their excitement.
And now that you're done, sort of figuring out what balance you want in there, or estimating it, because really it's all estimation, you can turn it back down so that your ears aren't bleeding anymore.
The scene too fast to be seen on your TV screen. The fans scream, they can't contain their excitement. Whole world watching and they wondering where I've been. Had a couple.
Cool. And finally, your last question. Am I using the exciter because after EQ the vocal is too bright? Like, am I using it to bring out any type of low mid-range so that the vocal is warmer? So my exciter, sound goodizer, I have it here. Just like anything, what do you do first? Fucking slam it. Let's see what it sounded like before sound goodizer.
The scene too fast to be seen on your TV screen. The fans scream, they can't contain their excitement. Whole world watching and they wondering where I've been. Had a couple close calls.
So as you can see, for me, it was a matter of presence. I throw an exciter on something whenever I feel like it's just not coming out of the mix enough and I need a little more on it. Obviously, I didn't need that much, but I wanted a little more body to it. For me, it wasn't necessarily that it was too bright. It was more that it just didn't have enough mid-range. If it was too bright, I think I would just push it down a little bit. But as you can see, you can play with this to figure out what you really want. When I want something brighter, for example, I pick C. Let's see what that sounds like.
The scene too fast to be seen on your TV screen. The fans scream,
you can really see that, right? And again, like, they all have different timbres.
The scene too fast to be seen on your TV screen. The fans scream, they can't contain
As you can see, for my voice, it kind of sounds a little boxy. I hope I'm using that word right.
The scene too fast to be seen on your TV screen.
yeah, good. Like, I don't know, nasally, but yeah.
The scene too fast to be seen on your TV screen. The fans scream, they can't contain their excitement. Whole world watching and they wondering where I've been. How to
So, fuck it. Maybe I like D more, and that's the new mix. And just turn it back down when you're done, and you're good to go. But yeah, hopefully that kind of shows you where my mixing philosophy comes from. And in general, the process is slam your effect so you can figure out what it does, and then later you can tune it back, pull it back in so that your ears aren't bleeding. But that's that's how I figured out what I should be doing on this whole chain. And also how I got an ear for this stuff in general. So hopefully that shit helps out. If not, feel free to ask more questions, and fuck it, make that shit bang.
the scene too fast to be seen on your TV screen. The fans scream, they can't contain